Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Maller Grotner Plummer Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Maller Grotner Plummer Attorneys, understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. On the web at lawngp.com. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnership with communities and organizations. rural.indiana.edu. Smithville, fiber internet, security solutions, and voice in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Bunger and Robertson, attorneys at law since 1949, utilizing experience, knowledge, and resources to help individuals and families recover in personal injury matters. Information at lawbr.com. And by WTIU members. Thank you.
Coming up on Indiana Newsdesk. Indiana homeowners will see some property tax relief under a new law, but it means less state dollars for public education.
The estimates that we've heard so far, anywhere from $14.7 million over the next 3 years to about $17.2 million.
MCCSC is looking at ways to address the impending loss of revenue. Indiana University says it's working on protections for international students who had their visas revoked by the Trump administration.
We want to make sure that there's a pathway to degree for everyone who is impacted by this, because it's just a huge interruption.
IU students also want the university to take a stand protecting free speech on campus. And Senator Todd Young faces questions about tariffs from Cook's president at a Bloomington Chamber event. These stories and more right now on Indiana Newsdesk. Welcome to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Joe Wren. Well, Indiana homeowners are getting property tax relief after Governor Mike Braun signed his signature legislation into law this week. Well, it's going to save Hoosiers up to $300 a year. It will cost some local schools millions. Teacher union and school district leaders are bracing for cuts, and reporter Aubrey Wright has details on just how much Monroe County schools could lose.
The Indiana State Teachers Association is worried about public education. Hundreds of teachers, students, and supporters rallied at the Indiana State House Monday, saying they want better support from their legislators.
We will keep pushing in conference committees to ensure public dollars stay with public schools.
90% of Indiana students attend public schools, which are projected to lose millions after tax cuts. And some will have to share their shrinking revenue with charter schools.
We are taking our rage, we are taking our love, we are taking our prayers, and we are demanding that you, politicians, do what Hoosier unions and kids need. Fund our public schools.
The Monroe County Community School Corporation was already trying to balance its budget with reduced spending. Now they're likely to miss out on millions of dollars over the next few years.
The estimates that we've heard so far, anywhere from $14.7 million over the next 3 years to about $17.2 million.
Winston and Noble Kuchera are grateful that Monroe County taxpayers have committed to funding schools through referendums, but they don't expect to get the dollars the community voted on, which now must be shared. Winston says MCCSC students won't bear the brunt of the cuts, and she doesn't expect the quality of education to decrease.
We're going to figure out what does that new normal look like. And today I don't know what that new normal is going to be, but we are certainly committed to figuring that out.
Noble Kuchera says it's possible students could lose extracurricular activities or see bigger class sizes. Plus, Indiana already has a teacher shortage, and pay is a recurring issue.
Teachers are great, but we are not magicians.
At MCCSC, Winston says there could be staffing cuts, and she says there will be more to share in the future.
I can't even begin to give you anything more specific, but staffing is the most significant expenditure that any school corporation has. And so we would take everything under consideration. We would engage in conversations with our administration, our teachers, and figure out how do we go forward.
There have been intense, hours-long debates in the General Assembly about these concerns. K-12 education still makes up almost half of Indiana's budget, and it did get a 2% increase this year. But Governor Mike Braun signed that tax plan into law. He says it will benefit nearly every Hoosier, and 2/3 of homeowners are going to pay less. Senate Education Committee Chair Jeff Rotz says it's created a lot of conversation.
We can argue about the dollars, and we should argue about the amount of dollars. It's always going to be a consideration and a problem, right?
He says tax revenue is usually steady and reliable income, and some schools aren't going to get what they expected. The Senate is aware of these concerns.
There's a lot of different ways to look at this, and it's in the eyes of the beholder, right? So depending on what screen they're looking through, whether they win or lose.
Aside from property taxes, there's another big issue. Public schools that lose students to charter schools will have to share their tax revenue. Charter schools are required to have open enrollment policies, and they're overseen by nonprofit boards. But some schools may not have enough open spots to meet the demand, so students are admitted based on a lottery system. Public school advocates oppose sharing revenue, saying they're already underfunded. Winston says nothing is finalized yet.
We feel very strongly that public school dollars should stay in the public schools so that we can, in fact, educate our students the way they deserve to be educated.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Aubrey Wright.
All options are on the table for the state budget, as lawmakers will have $2 billion less to spend than previously expected. Indiana Public Broadcasting's Brandon Smith reports the state revenue forecast unveiled Wednesday is the worst since at least the Great Recession of 2008.
National economic uncertainty is driving the sharp decline in projected tax revenue, $2.4 billion less over a 3-year period than what was expected just 4 months ago. Senate budget architect Ryan Mishler says these numbers scare him a lot more than during the Great Recession.
Back then, if you remember, we had federal money to backfill it. We don't have any federal money to backfill it. This is all on us.
Lawmakers say all options are on the table, from budget cuts to increasing some taxes like those on cigarettes or alcohol. Democratic Representative Greg Porter says K-12 education should be spared from the chopping block.
We don't have a good education system, et cetera. People are not going to come here and live. We have to create a pipeline of development.
Lawmakers intend to finalize the budget within the next 2 weeks. For Indiana Public Broadcasting, I'm Brandon Smith at the State House.
Governor Mike Braun unveiled his Make Indiana Healthy Again initiative, which includes 9 executive orders meant to address the underlying causes of health issues. Almost half of the executive orders focus on overhauling Indiana's Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. The rest cover a wide range of topics, including access to local food and diet-related chronic disease. But for some Hoosiers, healthy choices can be inaccessible due to food deserts and high costs. Braun says it's not the government's job to solve those issues.
We got to find out entrepreneurial ways of addressing it through the folks that produce it, and not necessarily just asking for more to get it done.
Federal officials say Braun's executive orders align with the Trump administration's Make America Healthy Again campaign and encourage other states to follow Indiana's lead.
I also want to take this moment to encourage governors all over the country to follow the lead of Indiana.
Indiana is the first state to make candy and soft drinks ineligible for SNAP benefits. Well, now we're joined by Clayton Baumgarth for more headlines from around the state. Hi, Clayton.
Hey, Joe, thank you. Fear and uncertainty in higher education escalated last week as the federal government threatened to strip funding to universities and revoked more student visas. As Ethan Sandwise reports, Indiana University is starting to feel the consequences.
They're flying them back to the Mexican border, pay all their money to way back again.
Bloomington approaches 1 year since protests rocked campus and faculty voted no confidence in IU leadership. This spring, protesters are speaking out on a new set of challenges, some from the Trump administration and others from within the university.
Today, it's this big, broad tent of faculty, students, staff standing together and wanting to do better for the university and hold the administration accountable for the problems that they're creating.
Xiaofeng Wang, a renowned cybersecurity expert IU fired the day the FBI raided his home, was investigated by the university, reportedly for a grant that he failed to disclose from China. On Thursday, his former department chair said a different researcher in China had applied for the grant without Wang's knowledge.
And Xiaofeng told me actually it was by then that he became aware of the existence of such a grant.
Wang's wife, a former IU Libraries programmer who was also fired by IU, spoke publicly about her experience for the first time this week.
I thought it must be a bad dream. I just can't understand how the university, to which we dedicate over 2 decades of our lives to, could treat us like this.
Neither IU nor the FBI has commented on their investigations. International students at IU and other universities in the state have had their visas revoked, apparently for minor offenses and dropped charges, and others with no explanation at all. The Trump administration says it will begin revoking visas for students who participate in protests or post certain content on social media.
It feels as if we are thrown into this national politics scene out of nowhere, and there was no helping hand around to actually assist us.
The university says students who have their visas revoked can remain enrolled in classes. The American Civil Liberties Union of Indiana requested a restraining order to protect 7 international students at other universities, but a judge denied its request on Thursday. A faculty board is also challenging the university's enforcement of a controversial speech policy used to penalize professors who protested at the sample gates last fall. The board says sanctions against faculty were, quote, excessive. The IU Bloomington provost has 30 days to respond. Campus activists led a march Thursday from their Day of Action event at Franklin Hall to Dunn Meadow, a symbolic return to the site of last year's pro-Palestine encampment.
We get a board of trustees that rewards a president for unleashing violence against the students.
This year, there were no state police waiting to confront them, only a light rain. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Ethan Sandweiss.
You can follow our continuing coverage of these developing stories at WTIU.org. The Indiana Supreme Court Wednesday signed off on May 20th as the date for the execution of Benjamin Ritchie. Ritchie was sentenced to death by a jury in 2002 for the shooting death 2 years earlier of a Beech Grove police officer. He would be the second state prisoner put to death at the Indiana State Prison in Michigan City since the state resumed executions in December after a 15-year lull. The Indiana Department of Transportation shared plans for the Mid-States Corridor project on Wednesday evening at the Jasper Middle School. During the event, residents were able to speak with project representatives and view drafts of how the highway may be routed through the area. Some residents were wearing No to the Mid-States Corridor hats and shirts.
If this road goes through, my farm is going to be absolutely destroyed. We've got actually 4 parcels on the farm that have received the Hoosier Homestead Award. This would go through all 4 of them.
The Hoosier Homestead Award is given to farms that have held ownership for at least 100 years. The corridor will eventually connect US 64 and 69, roughly following US Highway 231. Shoppers can expect higher than normal egg prices through the Easter weekend. Last month, consumers paid over $6 on average for a standard dozen. That's the highest retail price ever recorded, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. But, Joe, shoppers may pay less in upcoming weeks. The USDA says wholesale prices have gone down, but it could take a few weeks for those prices to be reflected in grocery stores.
All right, Clayton, thank you so much. Coming up next on Indiana Newsdesk. Cook Group's president grills Senator Todd Young about the impact of tariffs on the local economy. And former residents of Malibu House speak out after our story about its owner and his for-profit sober living residences. Yeah, these stories and more right here on Indiana Newsdesk.
A
change is happening.
Let the groove take over.
Which is perfect.
The age of discovery is now.
When you hear it, you know what it is.
I am quite overwhelmed.
It's a joy to be in this world.
That is utterly remarkable.
Whales coming up.
Hold on.
This is huge.
Here we go.
The more whales you have, the healthier the ocean is.
They're the biggest land animals that have ever existed.
The most special thing is going somewhere that nobody ever has before. It's perfect.
Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. Well, Senator Todd Young appeared at a Bloomington Chamber of Commerce event Tuesday, moderated by Cook Group President Pete Youngman. As Ethan Sandweiss reports, while protesters rallied outside the convention center, Young faced questions inside about the current administration.
Young walked a careful line, both supporting Trump's economic policies and advocating course corrections. That included on tariffs, which are impacting the Cook Group.
We are hit with losing the market share in China, along with, for us, about $175 million in additional tariffs a year. Now, we're a $2.5 billion company, so you can do the math.
I agree with 90% of what the president's attempting to do, and maybe on that 10%, I discreetly talk to the president and share concerns and try and bring clarity to things.
When Youngman asked Young about spending cuts by DOJ, Young said they were extremely popular among his constituency. That drew some jeers from the audience. He says the cuts shouldn't happen without continued investment in some of his priority areas.
DOJ is going to save $2 trillion. Show me. And oh, by the way, if you claim it's going to save $2 trillion, are we still investing in higher ed? We still investing in research? We still investing in basic infrastructure?
As senator, Young has prioritized developing Indiana's high-tech industry. Bloomington business leaders worry Trump's trade and development policies could roll back some of that progress. Outside the Monroe Courthouse and Convention Center, more than 100 people protested Young's speech, criticizing his support for President Donald Trump's agenda.
This is a man who doesn't represent our beliefs, who doesn't represent our ideals or the community that we want to build in this country and in this state. This is a problem that he needs to fix, and he needs to do it right now, or we will make that fix come November.
At one point, the chanting outside became so audible, Young decided to address it.
One of the other issues that I think as businesses, we sort of understand.
Speaking of accountability.
Yeah. You can hear those people asking for accountability.
It's the sound of freedom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like other Senate Republicans, Young has stopped holding town halls with constituents. He says he still meets with smaller groups.
They become political campaign arms as opposed to real opportunities for people to speak up and learn more about my perspectives.
Bloomington police gave some protesters an order of trespass around noon for demonstrating in the parking lot while the convention center was being rented. The gathering dispersed shortly after. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Ethan Sandweiss.
Malibu House operates 7 sober living homes in Bloomington. Co-founders Mac Mekas and Amanda Cecil Campbell opened the business about a year ago, offering beds to people in recovery for about $125 a week. WTIU aired a story about last month about issues of transparency with the business and Mekas' long criminal record. I'm joined now by Benta Boutier from the newsroom. Benta, can you tell us more about the follow-up reporting?
Our initial story found that Malibu House was often ambiguous about how it received and used community donations. After that story, I heard from former residents about their experiences. We learned more about the business next door to the Malibu House headquarters. It's called Impossible the Movement, but the owner didn't respond to requests for interview. After our interview with Malibu last month, Mekas would only answer questions over email about living conditions and business operations. Community service providers say, at the very least, the alleged practices of Malibu House don't serve recovering addicts well. After WTIU's report in March, several former residents shared issues they had with living conditions at Malibu. Uncompensated labor, broken appliances, and a camera installed in a bedroom.
Here's the camera pointed straight at my bed. Straight at my bed, where I lay down.
It was Chris Maxey's first time in sober living. He has photos and video that he says show a camera in a bedroom where he stayed at Malibu.
I said, I feel violated. And I said, I'm not signing anything to put that camera right there so you can record me. I was like, man, you need to move that camera.
Maxey says he helped paint a house for Meckes.
He said he was going to pay me for it, just like he said he was going to pay me for the floor job that I did. Never got paid for it.
Another former resident says photos on Malibu's website don't reflect the reality of living there. Crowded rooms.
There's 1, 2, 3 bunk beds in there in this small bedroom with 6 guys.
Broken appliances and mold.
That's making a struggling person struggling with addiction or mental issue think that, hey, I'm coming to a nice clean home, and they're not. They're not coming to a nice clean place. And to throw in there, oh, you can't even use your shower, you can't use your bathroom.
Meckes denies having a camera in a bedroom and claims of uncompensated work. He says Malibu ensures each home provides a safe, comfortable, and supportive environment. Malibu used to describe itself as a charity organization on Facebook, but that was removed after our previous story. Meckes says being for profit is key to its operations.
A non-for-profit has to get clearance and approval through their board of directors, has to go through different chains of command. Amanda and I, owning our own business, are able to make the decisions, see the needs as to what should be done, and decide how to direct our business in that form. I mean, it's free market at its finest.
But some local service providers say Meckes isn't clear about this. Zoe Verderamo, Habitat for Humanity Monroe County's communications manager, says Meckes indicated to Habitat's Restore that he was the owner of a nonprofit and asked about receiving a nonprofit discount on Restore items. Nonprofits like Salvation Army and Healing Hands said they found out Malibu House was for profit in February, despite working with Meckes for several months previously. One group that does appear aware of Malibu's operations is another for-profit recovery service, Impossible the Movement, run by Joshua Sin. Sin's appeared on multiple podcasts discussing Impossible's mission.
Ultimately, it's an umbrella for people to discover their purpose. For me, it's giving back to people who experience addiction and recidivism. Impossible, it's an alchemy type vibe.
Malibu and Impossible list each other as partners online. Meckes says Sin is not an employee of Malibu, but Sin's Facebook page used to say he was the company's business development director. He changed it after WTIU's inquiry. The partnership's ambiguity made some Malibu residents question who benefits from donations made to either. Sin listed thousands of dollars of gym equipment on Facebook Marketplace, which the Bloomington Hyatt Hotel says it donated to Malibu House during a remodel. Meckes said the fitness equipment was not a donation.
They're not maintaining these houses. They might be paying the water bill and the electric bill, but they're not putting no money back in these houses. They're not cleaning them up.
Addiction services, especially recovery housing, is in demand in Bloomington. Marilyn Grimes says her organization, Courage to Change, has hundreds of applications for its 41 beds. She says bad conditions and an unstable environment can impact someone's recovery. Her homes are certified with the National Association of Recovery Residences, which requires bedrooms have 50 square feet per person, and cameras should never be in bedrooms or bathrooms.
When you're coming out of addiction, you need respect. Because you have your own negative feelings about yourself. That's part of coming out of addiction. So you need to be built up and have people respect you and treat you with respect.
In March, Sin appeared on a podcast where donations to his company were solicited.
Anyone who's wanting to make a monetary donation starting now, they're more than welcome.
He encourages people to buy Impossible the Movement t-shirts on his YouTube page.
If any of you guys want to support and buy some gear, you can go to impossiblemovement.com.
Sin did not respond to WTIU's requests for an interview. He told podcast hosts in March he plans to expand on Impossible the Movement.
I'm not perfect, but remember, if you never give up, you can't lose. I'm going to make the adjustments that's necessary. I'm going to be open and honest to the people that are around me.
Yeah, so Bent, as we just heard, Sin didn't respond to requests for interview. What do we know about him?
Robertson got out of prison last year after serving more than 10 years for the alleged strangling of his girlfriend. He pleaded guilty to criminal confinement while armed with a deadly weapon.
So how has Malibu responded to our reporting?
Malibu has asked us to refrain from contacting them further. After the story last month, Malibu House removed charity organization from the Facebook description of its for-profit business.
Okay, Benta, thanks so much for your reporting. Appreciate it. That's the end of this program, but our work continues online as we cover the news throughout the week at WTIUnews.org. Have a great weekend.
Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Maller Grotner Plummer Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Maller Grotner Plummer Attorneys, understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. On the web at lawngp.com. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnership with communities and organizations. rural.indiana.edu. Smithville, fiber internet, security solutions, and voice in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Bunger and Robertson, attorneys at law since 1949, utilizing experience, knowledge, and resources to help individuals and families recover in personal injury matters. Information at lawbr.com. And by WTIU members. Thank you.